You ready, Jerry? Okay. One of the worst but important life lessons I got was about how to stand up for myself and how important that is even at work. One of my college jobs, I worked at a restaurant, and it was one of those like chain restaurant diners that serves, you know, big stacks of pancakes with extra butter and cheese fries, and you know, you go there for your carb fix. One night where it wasn't just the average shift where you get hit with the people who have had a fun time being out, this group came in, and they really made quite a scene and a splash when they came in, because it looked like they had just walked off the set of the Godfather movie. And they were walking in as if they were walking into their kingdom, you know, like they owned all that they surveyed. And not all of them, but one guy in particular who was being treated like he was the ringleader and acting like he was. Like he was shaking my manager's hand, saying, you know, you give us good service and we'll tip you very well. Like, aren't you so glad that we're here? Kind of vibe. And, you know, he shook my hand before he sat in my section saying, you know, if you take care of us, we'll take care of you. And I took everybody's order, and, you know, they were loud and rambunctious, so I kind of had to keep track of a lot of things. And I circled round to the main ringleader guy. The guy had been wearing the sunglasses, and, like, he was a shorter guy. He was kind of round. But he loved being treated like, you know, he was the king of the circle. And he was ordering from me, and he was like, you guys, this is a diner. This is a diner chain. It is not fancy food. And this is where they were eating. And he orders the grilled chicken sandwich, and he's asking me for all of these different things, like 2 different kinds of cheese. And he wants it with this, but not with that. And he wants this instead of fries. And he wants all these special things done, and I'm keeping track of it, and I'm writing it all down, and I'm very dutiful, and I'm very scrub-faced in my polo shirt, and, you know, I'm doing my job, and I'm working my way through college, and, like, the whole thing. And he could see, you know, that this 19-year-old young woman in front of him was an easy target. And he had a captive audience in the people he had come into the restaurant with. So he decided that he was going to have some fun at my expense, because he felt like he could get away with it. So after I took his order, he looked at the group assembled, and in a loud voice to me, designed to embarrass me, he says, "You are fucking gorgeous, and if I had you in a tub, oh, the things that I would do to you." And of course everybody starts laughing, and I started blushing and getting embarrassed, and I felt very stuck. Like I couldn't get out of it because I worked there, and he was going to tip me, and it was a big party, and, you know, you didn't really make a lot working there. Like $5 was a good tip there, because, you know, people are ordering pancakes. They aren't ordering bottles of champagne or things like that. So my strategy was to grit my teeth and do my job and get my tip and let him leave. But every time I went back to that table to take care of them for whatever they needed, something else like that would happen. He would say, you know, I want your phone number, I want your dress size, I want you to quit your job, and I want you to be my kept woman. You know, things like that. And I didn't know how to deal with it. You know, like, I'd been prepared to handle bullies, you know, as an elementary schooler on the playground. Like my parents were very good about helping me deal with those kinds of things. But when it came to being a woman in a situation where you feel stuck like that and it's at your job, I didn't feel like I could do anything. And I look back from where I am now, having had more work experience even in other restaurants and having had other situations that were similar to that, where I wasn't being treated well or I was being harassed, and even having managers, you know, hear me tell them things about, like, this table's treating me this way, or this was just said to me, and having managers stick up for me and saying, I will ask them to leave. If they give you any more trouble, you tell me right away, and feeling advocated for. It was a really difficult way to learn an important lesson about sticking up for myself and knowing that that's not okay. And knowing that, you know, I don't deserve to be treated that way because I'm working somewhere, I'm wearing a uniform. If anything, it means I should be protected from being treated that way. You know, I got my tip, and it was a very good tip. It was a $20 tip, which for me at the time really meant something. And I remember thinking when it happened, well, at least I got, you know, $20 after all of that. Which, from where I'm sitting now, you know, hindsight is 20/20. And it wasn't worth that. It wasn't worth being treated that way for that amount of money, or any amount of money. Now, the moral of the story is you have value even when you're 19 and are still growing a backbone.